I'm awesome. Doing my best every day.
Yes, always. How has life been for you in all of this chaos?
Uh, well, I think it's been different and the same
Yeah.
all at once. Uh, I've now been in my home for a total of almost 5 continuous weeks,
Wow.
and I haven't been in front of a choir in about 24 days, 25 days.
Wow.
And let me think. I guess you can say it's been a roller coaster. I feel good in some days, and then I feel bad in some days, highs and lows.
Yeah.
I'm very introverted in many ways, where I need to recharge when I'm away from people, and I have that extroverted side because I'm a teacher and I need to interact with people for my work.
Yeah.
And so I guess I kind of fluctuate between this like I really need to be around people. But then I remind myself that no, I really don't need to be around people right now.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, look, I've got an acre of land around my house that needs work, so I'm staying busy with that when I'm not teaching.
Yes.
I've got a 12-year-old who's going to school, and I've got a wife who's trying to go to work, and we're doing all that in the house at the same time. So I'm very lucky to actually have that dynamic in the house. I have people to interact with, whether I know there are many people out there who do not.
Right. What has, like, I follow you on Facebook, so like I see all the stuff you've been posting, but like what has been the easiest part and the hardest part about teaching via the internet?
Oh, okay. So teaching online for me, I'm not going to say it comes naturally, but I've been pretty good at it. I've been doing it at the school I'm at now for the past 3 years. And before then, when I worked at UNCG, I kind of had a flipped classroom and I taught online.
Okay.
So I had a lot of experience with that. And after you left Cedar Ridge and the internet got even better, we had an online management system at Cedar Ridge. And I even did that online with choir. And so I've got many, many years of that. I feel very comfortable with it. And so as soon as we made the transition at my university to go online completely, I didn't stress a bit. In fact, I got a bit excited. I went, here's a great time for us to be innovators. Here's a great time for us to challenge ourselves. Here's a time for us to grow and do new things.
Yeah.
So for me, I felt more, I felt challenged, but I also kind of felt rewarded through that challenge. Now, I guess you could say the hardest part has been helping my peers. I also work in higher ed, where there are traditional older teachers who are, I'm not going to say anti-technology, anti-online learning, but they just don't see it the same way I do. And then I was recognized by the university as a leader in digital and online learning. So they made me what they call a liaison. And my job was to help facilitate the digital conversion of 52 traditional courses to online. That was a challenge.
Yeah, I bet.
I have to say this, though, and you can't assume things about your students.
Yeah.
My graduate students that I teach online, they signed up for an online graduate program. They're conditioned to that. They're socialized to that. They're ready. They're easy. My traditional students who live on campus were not.
Yeah, of course.
So there is a humongous learning curve, and there's definitely a heightened sense of anxiety, a lot of unsureness, a lot of challenges with my students. But the good news is I'm very flexible. I'm very thoughtful and sincere in my work with them, and I give them the benefit of the doubt and trust them. I have no reason not to trust them. They're doing their best. So yeah, there you go. Long-winded answers from Hansen.
That's fine. I've known you this long. I know how you talk, so I'm used to that. Like, I've obviously seen you've been doing like a ton of projects with your son and stuff around your house and all that. What have you, like, I've seen a lot of people debating sort of, do we use this time to like have downtime or like let ourselves off the hook a little bit? Or is it the opposite of that? Should we be pursuing like as many things as we can because we have this like break in time?
I think that depends on the individual and how they cope with stress and anxiety.
Yeah. And what about for you?
I've learned a lot about myself this year.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think I've come to realize is I cope with stress with work.
Yeah.
I find myself, in any time I've gotten in a very stressful situation, I find myself wanting to be more engaged or involved in a project.
Yeah.
And not to say that it like takes my mind away from it, but it keeps me productive in some way, because here's the reality. And I said earlier, me being a bit introverted, when I'm sitting in my chair and I have nothing to do and I'm very idle, my mind starts to wander. And let's just say it's not always a very bright, shiny place.
Yeah.
And so it's easier for me to find a project and to get engaged in something productive. Now, I think it's important for us to have time to rest. I think it's important for us to have time to recharge. I think it's a necessary thing. But our society has been so driven to productivity, and I'm a product of that society. And
yeah.
I see it as a flaw, and I'm working really hard. And, being spiritual about this, I'll say God has forced this on me and many others. And I have to reflect on this. And I'm grateful, because I'm not grateful that COVID-19 has completely trashed our normalcy. I'm grateful that I'm giving an opportunity here to reflect deeply on what's important. And the reality is, I don't want to go dark here, but reality is I am very insignificant.
Yeah.
And I'm very insignificant. And the work that I do has meaning, but in the grand scope of things, what is it? So the world's still turning, people are still living their lives, and we're okay for now.
Yes.
So I'm trying to find time to rest. So I've created boundaries. In my new normal, I work during certain hours of the day, and since I'm not in rehearsals at night and I'm not doing concerts, my evenings are now free. So those evenings are 100% guaranteed downtime with the family with no distractions. Even if it's just being lazy and watching movies and watching TV and playing with Legos and hanging out. And then the great time is my son. I'm obviously doing projects, and we're staying involved, staying engaged, and staying in the yard. So yeah, there you go.
What are you most looking forward to once this is all over and you can go back into the real world, on a regular basis?
Two things.
Okay.
The first thing is I want to get on my motorcycle and go on a long distance trip.
Yeah. Because
I can't do that right now, because we are literally by law not allowed to leave for anything other than essentials.
Yeah.
So I need that time. And so I can't wait to get on that motorcycle and just go somewhere. And I live on that bike for days on end, just going in a direction and camping, and I love it. The other thing is being in front of a choir.
Yeah.
I've learned, and I've had many signs given to me that being in front of a choir is where I belong. And so that's a giant hole. And I've had some moments with my choir virtually already. In fact, at 2:00 today, I'll be on Zoom with them, catching up. But it won't be a rehearsal, because singing on Zoom is kind of impossible.
Right.
But I miss them, and I can't wait to be with them.
Yeah. It's funny that you said being lazy, because I literally cannot imagine you being lazy ever.
Oh no, dude! As soon as we got the call that we couldn't go back, I converted my dining room into a stay-at-home studio with I've got the professional light equipment, I've got multiple cameras, and I got multiple GoPros for angles and cameras, and then I went out and did crazy yard work. Today I'm picking up my wife's car from Toyota. I'm replacing all of her brakes and all the other stuff. I mean, I've got so many projects. You're right.
That's what I hear. Yeah, I just in my head I can just see a list of just you're gonna do this, and the difference is you actually do all of them. So, that's the beauty of it. Well, anyway, thank you so much for doing this. I'm glad we got to see each other. I haven't seen you in years.
I know. Last time I saw you was with Inkem in his house.
I know. Wow.
With your dad.
With my dad. Minute. I'm turning into my dad.
Well, yeah, you have shared genes,
yeah.
So it's expected.
Yeah.
But you come from great stock.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, take care of yourself. Keep being amazing. I've loved watching how you're handling this because you really are fascinating. Just, you're really killing it. And if any teacher is like prepared for this situation, like I think it is you. So,
well,
they're lucky to have you.
That's all right. That's great. I appreciate it. Yeah. Maybe I need to get a TikTok and start doing stuff like that too.
I would, like, I don't want you to, but I also would like that. Like, so it's sort of like, I hate it. I hate watching people I know do it, but I also enjoy watching people do stuff like that. So it's like, yeah.
I don't have one. I finally put it on my phone. But when I go do all-state choirs, I have students who are like, Hansen, do a TikTok with us, and I'll do it. So I'm a cameo in a bunch of them.
I think it's time. So just tell me when.
All right. Great.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Please stay safe. Tell everybody I said hi.